power of silent domination. True dominance is not about being the loudest in the room. It is not about making threats, boasting, or demanding attention. It is about presence, an undeniable force that commands respect without a single word being spoken. The most powerful individuals throughout history have understood this. Their mere presence was enough to intimidate, to shift the energy in a room, to make others take notice and tread carefully. When you learn to dominate without words, you gain a power that cannot be easily challenged. Words can be argued with, twisted, or ignored. But an unshakable presence, a silent authority, is impossible to ignore. It is felt, it is sensed. It is an energy that makes people hesitate before they act, reconsider before they speak, and respect you before they even know you. The first step to mastering silent domination is understanding that power begins internally. It is not about trying to appear dominant. It is about becoming dominant from within. If you do not truly believe in your own strength, no amount of external posturing will convince others. People can sense weakness, insecurity, and doubt, no matter how well you try to hide it. That is why developing a strong, unbreakable mindset is the foundation of true intimidation. Confidence is key, but confidence does not mean arrogance. True confidence is quiet, controlled, and unshakable. It does not need validation. It does not need to be announced. It is simply there. When you believe in your own power, when you know deep within that you are capable, competent, and strong, that belief radiates outward. Others pick up on it. They sense it. And it changes how they interact with you. This kind of internal power does not come overnight. It is built through discipline, through pushing yourself beyond your limits, through mastering your emotions, and through constantly challenging yourself to grow. Weakness comes from comfort. Strength comes from struggle. Your energy speaks before you do. When you walk into a room, people notice before you even say a word. Your posture, your movements, your facial expressions, all of it communicates something about you. Are you someone to be respected? Someone to be feared? Or someone who can be easily ignored? The way you carry yourself determines how people react to you. If you slouch, avoid eye contact, fidget, or move nervously, you project weakness. But if you stand tall, move with purpose, and remain calm under pressure, you project power. The key is to develop an aura of control. Control over yourself, over your emotions, and over any situation you walk into. One of the most intimidating qualities a person can have is the ability to remain calm in any situation. When others are emotional, reactive, or anxious, the one who remains composed instantly has the upper hand. This is because emotions make people predictable. When someone is angry, afraid, or nervous, they reveal their weaknesses. They act without thinking. They make mistakes. But when you remain calm, you stay in control. You become unreadable, unpredictable. And that alone is intimidating. Silence is a weapon. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They feel the need to fill every moment with words, to explain themselves, to seek approval. But when you master the power of silence, you gain an advantage. You make people lean in, you make them uncertain, you force them to react to you rather than the other way around. A well-timed pause, a look, or a simple nod can say more than an entire speech. Great leaders, warriors, and strategists have always understood this. They do not speak more than necessary. They do not waste words trying to prove themselves. They let their actions, their presence, and their silence do the talking. And in doing so, they create an aura of mystery, strength, and control that keeps others on edge. When you embrace silent domination, you no longer need validation from others. You do not need to prove your worth through words or exaggerated displays of power. You simply exist in your power, and that is enough. This is a rare quality. Most people are constantly seeking approval, trying to impress, or reacting to what others think of them. But when you rise above that, when you detach from the need for external validation, you become truly untouchable. This does not mean isolating yourself or being unapproachable. It means owning your space, owning your energy, and knowing that you do not need to chase respect. Respect will come to you. When people see that you are not easily influenced, that you are not easily shaken, and that you operate on your own terms, they will treat you differently. They will think twice before challenging you. They will hesitate before trying to undermine you. The key to silent domination is consistency. It is not something you turn on and off. It is something you embody at all times. It is a way of life. Every interaction, every movement, every choice you make should reflect your power and control. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. And eventually, you will reach a point where you no longer have to try. It will simply be who you are. People will notice. They will feel it. They will sense that you are different. That you are not someone to be underestimated. That you are not someone to be taken lightly. And that is when you truly begin to dominate, without ever needing to say a word. Mastering body language and unshakable confidence, true power is communicated long before a single word is spoken. Your body language, posture, and movements reveal more about you than anything you could say. The way you carry yourself can either command respect or invite challenges. Those who truly dominate without words have mastered the art of silent authority. An energy that radiates strength, control, and confidence. One of the most crucial aspects of intimidating your enemies is body language. Before you even engage with someone, they are already assessing you, reading your posture, your facial expressions, and the way you move. If you display weakness through slouched shoulders, fidgeting hands, or a nervous gaze, you make yourself an easy target. But when you carry yourself with unwavering confidence, you project an aura of dominance that makes others think twice before challenging you. The first step to mastering body language is posture. Stand tall. Keep your shoulders back, your chest slightly lifted, and your chin up. This position not only makes you look more powerful, but it also makes you feel more powerful. Studies have shown that posture affects psychology. When you physically take up more space, your mind follows, reinforcing a dominant mindset. Weak people shrink themselves, trying to avoid attention. Strong people own their space. Eye contact is another powerful tool. Most people are uncomfortable with direct eye contact, and they tend to break it quickly when they feel intimidated. The ability to hold steady, unwavering eye contact without looking away first is a silent power move. It tells the other person that you are confident, that you are not easily shaken, and that you are in control. But eye contact should not be aggressive or forced. It should be natural, calm, and steady. A relaxed but firm gaze exudes confidence, while over-exaggerated staring can come across as insecure or try-hard. The key is balance. Another essential element of body language is controlled movements. Powerful people do not fidget. They do not make unnecessary or nervous gestures. They move with intention. Every action, from the way they walk to the way they sit, is deliberate and calculated. When you control your movements, you control the energy you project. Slow, purposeful movements signal dominance. Rushed, jittery movements signal nervousness. Walking with confidence is equally important. When you enter a room, walk with a measured pace. Not too fast, not too slow. Rushing into a space makes you seem anxious. Walking too slowly can make you seem hesitant. A steady, deliberate walk with your shoulders back and head high immediately signals that you are someone to be noticed and respected. The way you sit also communicates your level of confidence. Those who lack confidence tend to make themselves smaller, crossing their arms, slouching, or folding their hands in their lap. But dominant individuals take up space. They sit with an open posture, shoulders relaxed, one arm resting naturally on the chair or table, and legs positioned comfortably rather than tightly pressed together. This open and relaxed posture subconsciously signals authority. Beyond posture and movement, facial expressions play a crucial role in silent intimidation. People who dominate without words have mastered the ability to control their expressions. They do not overreact. They do not show excessive emotion unless they choose to. Their face remains calm, composed, and unreadable. A neutral or slightly serious expression can make people uncertain about what you are thinking, putting them on edge. Unreadability is power. It forces others to second-guess themselves and keeps them off balance. At the core of all these physical traits is one crucial factor: confidence. Confidence is what separates those who naturally command respect from those who struggle to be taken seriously. But confidence is not something that can be faked for long. It must be built, developed, and reinforced through real action and experience. One way to build confidence is through self-mastery. This means developing control over your emotions, thoughts, and actions. Weak individuals are reactive. They get easily angered, flustered, or rattled by external events. But those who dominate without words do not let outside forces shake them. They maintain composure no matter the situation. When someone insults them, they do not react emotionally. When a challenge arises, they handle it with calculated precision rather than panic. This level of self-control is rare, and it is one of the most intimidating qualities a person can possess. Developing confidence also requires competence. The more skilled and capable you become, the more naturally confident you will feel. Confidence built on real ability is unshakable. It is not based on arrogance or empty bravado. It is based on knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Whether it is physical strength, intelligence, financial success, or strategic thinking, building real skills makes you less dependent on external validation. Another way to enhance confidence is by embracing discomfort. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. Those who seek true dominance put themselves in difficult situations regularly. They challenge themselves, take risks, and push through fear. Every time you face discomfort and come out stronger, you reinforce your confidence. Those who avoid challenges remain fragile, easily intimidated, and dependent on others for reassurance. A powerful technique for developing unshakable confidence is visualization. Before entering any situation, visualize yourself moving with confidence, speaking with authority, and handling any challenge with ease. See yourself as the dominant force in the room. This mental rehearsal conditions your mind to believe in your own power, making it easier to carry yourself with unbreakable confidence in real life. Another key aspect of silent domination is minimal speech. Weak individuals talk too much. They over-explain, seek validation, and use unnecessary words to fill silence. But those who are truly dominant do not waste words. They speak with purpose, and when they do, people listen. This is because their presence alone already commands attention. They do not need to prove themselves with excessive talking. Their energy does that for them. Silence itself is a tool of power. When someone speaks to you, pausing before responding can make them uncomfortable. It forces them to wonder what you are thinking. It puts them in a position of uncertainty. This is why controlled silence is such a powerful tactic in negotiations, conflicts, and power dynamics. The ability to remain quiet, to let others talk while you observe, to withhold unnecessary words. All of this makes you unpredictable and intimidating. It is also important to recognize that dominance does not mean aggression. The most powerful people are not those who try to overpower others with force, but those who exude calm control. They do not act out of anger or insecurity. They do not react impulsively. They are steady, composed, and decisive. Everything about your presence should communicate calculated control. The way you walk, the way you look at people, the way you carry yourself. Each of these factors contributes to the silent message you send to the world, that you are not someone to be underestimated. Mastering body language and confidence is not just about intimidating enemies. It is about becoming the strongest version of yourself. It is about eliminating self-doubt, overcoming weakness, and stepping fully into your power. And when you do that, you will no longer need to prove yourself with words. Your presence alone will speak for you. Psychological warfare, controlling the mind without speaking, true dominance, is not just about physical presence or body language. It extends into the realm of the mind. Psychological warfare is the art of influencing, controlling, and unsettling others without directly engaging in conflict. It is the ability to manipulate perception, create doubt, and keep your enemies off balance without saying a word. When mastered, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. At its core, psychological warfare is about understanding human nature. People are ruled by emotions, fear, doubt, anxiety, and the need for validation. Most individuals are predictable because they react impulsively to their emotions. They get defensive when challenged, seek approval when uncertain, and become nervous when they feel outmatched. But those who dominate without words do the opposite. They remain calm, composed, and detached from emotion, which makes them incredibly difficult to read and manipulate. One of the most effective tactics in psychological warfare is unpredictability. Predictability breeds comfort. When someone knows exactly how you will react, they feel in control. But when your actions and responses are unreadable, you create uncertainty, and uncertainty breeds fear. When people cannot anticipate your next move, they hesitate, they overthink, they make mistakes. Being unpredictable does not mean being erratic or reckless. It means remaining unreadable. It means sometimes engaging, sometimes ignoring, sometimes reacting, sometimes staying silent. It means controlling when and how you respond, so that others never feel like they fully understand your intentions. The less they know about what you are thinking, the more power you have over them. Another powerful strategy is withholding information. The more you speak, the more you reveal about yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your plans. But when you say little, people are forced to fill in the gaps, and in doing so, they often create their own fears and doubts. Silence makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to question what you are thinking. It forces them to overanalyze. It forces them to react. And in psychological warfare, the one who is reacting is the one who is losing. One of the most intimidating things you can do is remain completely unshaken in the face of hostility. When someone insults you, challenges you, or tries to provoke you, their goal is to elicit a reaction. If you react emotionally, they win. But if you remain calm, if you look them in the eye with quiet confidence, if you refuse to engage in their game, you strip them of their power. There is nothing more unsettling to an aggressive person than someone they cannot provoke. It makes them feel powerless, it makes them question themselves. A key element of psychological warfare is using silence strategically. Silence is not just an absence of words, it is a powerful form of communication. A well-timed pause, a long stare, or a deliberate lack of response can have more impact than an entire speech. When used correctly, silence forces the other person to fill the void, often revealing their own weaknesses and insecurities in the process. For example, in a confrontation, most people feel the need to immediately defend themselves or explain their position. But when you remain silent, letting the other person speak while you simply observe, they often begin to second-guess themselves. They start talking more, revealing more, exposing their emotions. Your silence makes them uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, they lose control. Another tactic in psychological warfare is projecting an air of mystery. People fear what they do not understand. If they cannot read you, if they cannot predict your thoughts or intentions, they feel unsettled. This is why those who dominate without words never reveal too much. They keep their emotions contained, their plans unknown, their true intentions hidden. They allow others to wonder, to guess, to overanalyze, because the more someone tries to figure you out, the more they are controlled by you. A practical way to implement this is to avoid unnecessary explanations. Weak people feel the need to justify themselves, to explain their every action. But strong individuals operate with quiet certainty. They do not seek approval, and they do not over-explain. If someone asks why you did something, a simple "because I decided to" is often enough. No further explanation needed. This makes people respect you more, because it shows that you do not feel the need to seek validation. Another highly effective tactic is mirroring, subtly reflecting the body language, speech patterns, or energy of the person you are dealing with. This creates an unconscious connection, making them more likely to trust or be influenced by you, but it can also be used as a psychological weapon. By mirroring someone's aggression in a controlled way, you send the message that you are not intimidated. By mirroring their calmness, you make them feel at ease. By mirroring their discomfort, you amplify their uncertainty. The key is to do this subtly, without making it obvious. In psychological warfare, pausing before you respond is a powerful tool. Most people feel the need to answer questions immediately, to fill the space with words. But when you pause, when you take a moment to think before responding, you create tension. That moment of silence makes the other person uncomfortable. It makes them wonder if they said something wrong. It makes them question themselves. That split-second hesitation can shift the power dynamic in your favor. Another technique is never reacting with obvious emotion. If someone tries to provoke you, instead of responding with anger or defensiveness, respond with amusement. A slight smirk, a slow nod, or a relaxed demeanor sends a powerful message. I am not bothered by you, you do not affect me. This is incredibly frustrating for someone trying to get under your skin. They expect a reaction, and when they do not get it, they feel powerless. A common mistake people make in conflicts is trying to prove their strength through words. But true strength does not need to be announced. The most powerful individuals do not waste time arguing or proving themselves. They let their actions and presence do the talking. When you stay quiet while others argue, when you remain calm while others lose control, you automatically rise above them. Controlling your environment is another aspect of psychological warfare. People are influenced by their surroundings, the lighting, the positioning of seats, the way a space is arranged. If you control the setting, you control the dynamic. Position yourself in a way that forces others to adjust to you. In a meeting, take the seat at the head of the table. In a conversation, stand in a way that makes the other person turn toward you. Subtle environmental control reinforces dominance. Finally, psychological warfare is about understanding power dynamics. Power is not always about who is physically stronger or louder. It is about who has control. The one who remains unshaken, who controls their emotions, who forces others to react instead of reacting themselves. That is the one who holds the real power. Mastering psychological warfare requires discipline. It requires resisting the urge to react emotionally, training yourself to remain unreadable, and practicing the art of silence and control. But once mastered, it is one of the most formidable tools you can possess. Because when you can dominate someone's mind, when you can make them question themselves, hesitate, or feel uncertain, then you have already won without ever needing to say a word. All the body language mastery and psychological warfare in the world mean nothing if they are not backed by action. True dominance is not just about presence and mind games, it is about execution. The ability to move in silence, make decisive actions, and achieve results without ever announcing your intentions is the ultimate form of power. Those who dominate without words do not waste time explaining their plans or seeking approval. They simply move forward with quiet certainty. One of the most powerful ways to command respect and intimidate your enemies is to let your actions speak louder than your words. People who constantly talk about what they are going to do rarely achieve much. They overcompensate with words because they lack real execution. But those who operate in silence and simply get things done become a force to be reckoned with. When you achieve without announcing your moves, you make others wonder. You create an air of mystery and unpredictability. which makes people both intrigued by and wary of you. A key principle of silent execution is strategic patience. Weak individuals act out of impulse. They react emotionally, they rush decisions, and they show their hand too early. But those who truly dominate without words understand the value of waiting, observing, and striking at the right moment. Patience is not passivity. It is controlled action. It is knowing when to advance and when to hold back. It is making sure every move is calculated, deliberate, and impossible to anticipate. One of the most effective ways to silently execute your plans is to become immune to distractions. Most people are easily pulled off course by unnecessary conflicts, the opinions of others, or the need for validation. But those who dominate without words stay focused. They do not engage in meaningless debates. They do not get caught up in emotional reactions. They do not allow the noise around them to affect their internal state. They move forward with absolute clarity, ignoring anything that does not serve their purpose. Another crucial element of silent execution is efficiency. Efficiency is power. When you can achieve more with less effort, when you can move with precision and decisiveness, you separate yourself from the average person. Many people waste energy on things that do not matter, seeking approval, talking excessively about their plans, trying to impress others. But true power comes from stripping away the unnecessary and focusing only on what truly matters. One way to achieve this is through ruthless prioritization. Those who dominate without words do not spread themselves thin. They identify what is most important and dedicate their energy to that alone. They are selective with their time, their focus, and their actions. They do not chase distractions, engage in petty conflicts, or waste energy on things that do not move them forward. This discipline makes them unstoppable because they are always progressing while others are stuck in distraction. A major part of executing in silence is controlling your emotions. Emotional reactions are a sign of weakness. They expose your internal state and give others an advantage over you. If someone can provoke you, they control you. But those who dominate without words master emotional discipline. They do not allow frustration, anger, or fear to dictate their actions. They remain calm, calculated, and in control at all times. This makes them unpredictable and extremely difficult to manipulate. One of the most effective techniques for emotional control is detachment. This does not mean being cold or emotionless, but rather developing the ability to step back and see things objectively. When you detach from emotions, you see situations more clearly. You are not swayed by temporary feelings. You make decisions based on logic and strategy rather than impulse. This makes you a far more effective operator because your actions are always rooted in strength rather than reaction. In addition to controlling emotions, those who dominate without words master the art of precision. Every action they take has purpose. They do not waste movement, energy, or time. This is why they appear so formidable, because everything they do is intentional. When they enter a room, they do so with confidence. When they engage in a task, they give it their full focus. When they make a decision, they commit fully. This level of precision creates an aura of control that is impossible to ignore. Another essential part of silent execution is never revealing your full capabilities. The strongest individuals never show all of their cards. They allow people to underestimate them. They keep their true abilities hidden until they need to use them. This makes them unpredictable and dangerous because their enemies never truly know what they are capable of. The moment you reveal everything about yourself, you lose your advantage, but when you keep people guessing, you maintain control. One practical way to implement this is to speak less and observe more. Those who talk too much give away valuable information about themselves. They expose their plans, their emotions, and their weaknesses without realizing it. But those who remain silent, who let others talk while they listen, gain the upper hand. The more you observe, the more you understand. And the more you understand, the more power you have over any situation. Another important element of silent execution is making power moves without seeking recognition. Most people crave validation. They want others to see their achievements and praise them for their success. But those who truly dominate do not need external approval. They move in silence, achieving their goals without announcing them. This makes their success even more impactful, because it catches others off guard. They do not seek credit, they simply win. A highly effective strategy is to let people underestimate you. When people believe you are less capable than you really are, they let their guard down. They do not see you as a threat. This gives you the advantage of surprise, and when the time comes to act, they are completely unprepared for your strength. This is why the most dangerous individuals are often the ones who say the least. They do not need to boast about their abilities. They simply reveal them when necessary. Another critical aspect of silent dominance is maintaining a strong inner world. True strength comes from within. Those who dominate without words are not controlled by external circumstances because they have mastered their internal state. They have unshakable self-belief. They do not need reassurance from others. They do not seek approval. They operate with complete self-sufficiency. This makes them nearly impossible to break because their power comes from within, not from external validation. One way to build this inner strength is through self-discipline. Discipline is the foundation of power. It is what separates the strong from the weak. Those who dominate without words have the discipline to control their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions. They do not allow distractions to derail them. They do not seek short-term gratification. They are focused, consistent, and relentless in their pursuit of success. A final element of silent execution is moving with absolute certainty. Indecision is weakness. Those who hesitate, second-guess themselves, or constantly seek reassurance will never be truly dominant. But those who make decisions with confidence, who act without hesitation, who trust in their own ability, they naturally command respect. Certainty is power. When you move with conviction, people feel it. And when people feel it, they respond to it. Mastering silent execution is the ultimate form of dominance. It means being so in control of yourself and your actions that you do not need to announce your power. Your presence alone makes it clear. It means achieving without seeking validation, acting without hesitation, and maintaining control over yourself and your environment at all times. When you can do this, you become unstoppable. Because the most powerful individuals do not waste words proving their strength. They simply move in silence, and the world takes notice.